Hi, everybody. I'm Anna of Mending and Michelle Montjoy is here, and Siobhan Arnold is here, of course, and our guest today, the leader today, the main attraction is Claudia Cano, and she's a San Diego-based artist and has done some amazing work in printmaking, and photography and video, and then she is her other self, which is who is Rosa, and she's not Rosa today, she's Claudia. So welcome, Claudia, and she is going to show us how to make two different kinds of salsas, and these salsas are amazing. I can't speak highly enough about them. I We need everybody. We're a small group, so maybe we don't need to mute today. If I may put up this card, please mute. It doesn't say it yet, but I may put up this card if more people start joining. So it might mean we've got too many people talking or we're hearing local sound. And if I do that, just mute your sound and ask any questions in chat, and I will be reading the chats and I will interrupt. So it's lovely to see all of you, and I'm really enjoying doing this. Summer's not quite here, it's almost here.
It's here for me.
We're a twofer today. This is Richard, so okay. Take it away, Claudia.
Hey. Thank you, Anna, and thank you, Michelle and Siobhan, for inviting me to be part of the To Do Mending project. I love it. I just, like, we were talking off camera or off virtual recording, and I was telling them that I feel so honored and so happy to be part of this community. And we've been, we've known each other throughout so many years and layers of, being here in San Diego. And I feel that we're friends, very good, close friends that I can reach out and ask for questions when I have a problem with, how to do any of my practice. And, thank you. Thank you for being my friends. So yeah, we're gonna do salsas. And the first rule for us to learn is simplicity. When I moved here from Mexico, Central Mexico, it took me probably a year to figure out where to buy ingredients, where to buy real natural ingredients or organic ingredients. Flavor is key for cooking. And after that, I learned that, my preference were not satisfied, and I began just, developing of the recipes that I did in Mexico. And I used to call my mom and ask her for, like, little tricks here and there. I always liked cooking, and I grew up with, like a very strict menu to say. My father never liked anything that it was canned or pre-prepared. So everything had to be freshly cooked every day. So my mom became, my role model in cooking. I've never taken, probably took one time cooking classes, and it was like how to make turkey when I was about to move here, and I needed to know how to, stuff a turkey and do the traditional American cooking for Thanksgiving. But other than that, I learned just helping my mother. And till today, she's 86. She is now, she's a widow, and she cooks for herself. And she couldn't be with anybody last week for Mother's Day. And I love what she did. She did her menu. And every time I call her, it's every other day, she tells me what she's been cooking. So she cooks her meals from scratch till today. So she's my role model. I've learned all her recipes. And obviously now when we get together, we share recipes, and she's like, oh, I forgot about this. I don't have anything written, which is bad. I always, like, wing it. But in salsas, I've been teaching one of my kids during this time during quarantine how to cook. And I'm gonna share with you the typical salsa for enchiladas. First of all, enchiladas, they are never, ever made with red tomatoes. We call them red tomatoes. These are ingredients. So I'm gonna show you the ingredients for green salsa. So we have tomatillos, or green tomatoes, we call them. and these are red tomatoes. I don't know like the translation, but that's how it works. And I found this amazing tomatillos. These are the little ones, and the difference between these tiny ones and the traditional ones is the flavor. These are a lot sweeter and easy to cook. One of the things that I learned when I moved here is that since all the vegetables are, you know, cropped early, they are not ripe enough or well enough. So you have a question, Anna?
No, I just reminding people
I
to
saw something that's like,
get a pencil and paper. I forgot
okay.
to do that.
So, okay, sorry for interrupting. So one of the things that I learned is that you have to cook twice the green tomatoes. So you can buy a pound of tomatoes or a pound and a half for making enchiladas, or if you like also chilaquiles con pollo. Well, this is pretty much what I have here. Is a pound and a half here, and I have, well, I'm cooking today, not that size. I'm cooking my favorite tiny tomatillo. You can buy them Norgate, yeah, commercial. So I began cooking them already because it takes a while. So you need a pound and a half. You need also onion, white onion, garlic, you know, just one clove of garlic, and cilantro. That's it. And obviously salt. Oh, I have to put the salt out. Oh, it's here at the end. Never ever add salt while you're cooking. It's just at the end as a touch. If you do it on the meantime you're cooking, then the bitterness of the tomato is not gonna go away. So what I did is that I began already boiling my tomatillos. It takes half an hour. I'm gonna get the computer closer. So I put them to, let's see, light, there you go. So I put them to boil for half an hour. They're ready, and oh, I have the green chilies, the jalapenos, forgot to mention. So you don't need that many. You can just buy, you know, I always buy 5, or, you know, I'm cheap, so I buy 5 and I leave 3. So you just need 2 if you like your salsa mild. If you like it a little bit spicy, then go for 3, but that's, you know, that's a tricky answer. I did a enchilada, a couple of enchiladas a couple of weeks ago, and my family were like, "Ooh, this is too spicy," and it was too hot. So it's better to be, you know, in the mild side. Now for which tomatillo or which jalapenos to choose, when you choose them, try to choose them all green, no with yellow spots, because those are spicier. And when you leave them in the fridge for a long time, then they get more hot. So it's better. I just bought this yesterday. So when I leave them in the fridge for, you know, like up to 2 weeks or 3 weeks, they last forever. I try to use less chiles because otherwise it's super spicy. So now that I have my tomatillos boiled, and I put just 2 on this pot, I just put 2 chiles because I don't have that many tomatillos. Usually when I make a lot of salsa for enchiladas, I have I have a family of 5. And when I have everybody over, I make up to like 3 pounds of tomatillos and cook them with 3 chiles. And sometimes I even separate, you know, like from how spicy and non-spicy, but you know, it's up to you. So the rule for, you know, 2 people, have a pound and a half of tomatillos with 2 chiles, a chunk of onion being cut. And the secret of this is that we're going to put everything in the blender. I need water. Hold on for a second. Any questions? No? Okay, so I'm gonna pour water, a little bit of water. See how much? It's like a cup of water. Oh, you know, for this, I'm sorry. For this recipe, we don't need water. Take it out, take it out. Erase it. That's for the other one. Because I'm teaching two kinds of salsas today. Sorry, mistake. Unfortunately, we cannot edit that. So I'm gonna use the same water that I have here. Make sure that once you finish boiling, just leave it to cool off a little. Otherwise, if you put it in the blender, it might explode. You don't wanna burn yourself. So I'm gonna do it here. See, I'm using the same liquid. And why? You'll see why. And I have a pan in the back of my stove ready to fry a clove of garlic. Garlic is the secret of salsas, especially if you're cooking the salsa. If it's a cooked salsa, always garlic. But if you blend it without being fried, then the flavor it will change, and it's too strong. You know, garlics tend to be strong, the flavor. So if you fry it, I'm gonna put it here with on the sides. I'm gonna start like frying it, and I'm getting the computer closer. Ooh. It's different from camera. Who would have thought that I was going to do this? I used to work on TV in Mexico. Oh my gosh, I was pregnant with Nacho, so 20 some years ago. And I used to be the hostess. So now I'm like having memories, flashbacks from my time being in front of the camera. But now it's like doing live videos. It's so much fun because we are allowed to make mistakes. So you see how I'm frying it's not roasting, I'm frying the clove of garlic. Try not to burn it. The flavor changes again. So it's just a little bit on the sides. Starting to smell so good. You know, the idea of cooking, especially the combination of onions and garlic, it reminds me my childhood. Coming home from school, my mom will be always cooking. So yeah, my mother became my inspiration for a lot of what I do as an artist. Who would have thought, right? So this is almost done. See how it's just a little bit roasted, not a lot. Just to take the edge off. Obviously, if you're going to make more salsa, you have to add one more, just double it. You're making, 2 pounds of tomatillos, then double it. So I added already the onion, the tomatillos, the clove, and you need a little bit of cilantro. How much? Always, but how do I calculate? Like this. Like when you're calculating a whole bunch of them. I don't like measuring. That's why I'm not a good baker. So I ruin, cakes and everything. So it's just a little bit of cilantro.
So Claudia,
cilantro. Yes.
Could that be about a dime size?
A dime. There you go. Okay. Dime size. And now I'm gonna blend it. Obviously, this is a small quantity. I'm doing like maybe less than a pound. So this is a dime. So I'm gonna blend it. And remember the pot that I had here? I'm gonna put it again on the stove and let it warm up. Ready. All right. So now the secret is to cook it again. Why? If we don't double cook, the bitterness of the tomatillo is not going away, and you don't want that flavor, that taste. So now that's why a lot of the salsas that we try in restaurants taste bitter, a little bit bitter, and they don't have a good flavor. Don't add anything else. It's very simple. And we're gonna leave it here until it boils. And it will have to boil for another half an hour. That's how we take the bitterness off. Yes. Anyone have?
Question.
Yeah.
There's a question. How much onion from Siobhan?
Oh, again, it will be like a sliver. So I was gonna say centimeters. No, because this is half a centimeter, right?
Yeah.
So it's like 5 millimeters.
A quarter of an inch?
A quarter of an inch. Yeah. Thank you.
Just translating it for you.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And all of those ingredients went into the blender.
Into the blender. Now you have to let it boil for half an hour, which we're not going to do today because we
Okay.
don't have
Yeah.
the time, but it has to boil enough. Oh, secret. It has to blend enough to change the color. That's, talking about art. See the color right now?
Okay.
When it turns dark green, that's when it's ready. It's talking, yeah, it's like I learned, and that's how my mother taught me, by colors. If it changes colors like tomato, same thing. If it changes the color, it does change the flavor. It's chemistry. It's all about chemistry. So I'm going to teach you the next salsa. Any questions about this one?
Yes, there's one more question. Did you put all of the ingredients into the blender, the whole pepper?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Those are all the questions.
Yeah, they were like everything that was boiling in the pot.
Yeah.
Were the tomatillos and the 2 chiles, or you can, this is going to be mild salsa, and it's just less than a pound, but it's best if you cooking, 2 pounds of tomatillos. It's going to reduce now that it's boiling. The reduction makes the flavor, to be concentrated and not bitter. And yeah, once in a while it's good to taste it. Put it on your hand and taste it a little. Right now, I know that it's bitter. And, oh, another secret. You see that has some foam there? The foam has to go away, has to disappear. Do you see it? Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So if the foam is there, just stir the salsa so it's cooked even. But the foam is like, oh, it's still, uncooked. How do you say it? Crudo.
Raw.
Yeah. Okay, now that's the salsa that we're going to leave there for a while, and then we're switching salsas. This is salsa that I was explaining early when we were not on air, that I learned to make it when I moved here. It's more of a salsa from the north of Mexico, from across the border. They use it a lot. Since they don't have fresh ingredients sometimes, it's a desert, it's easy to find dried ingredients. And so los chile chipotle, the chile chipotle, if I'm right, this is jalapeno. Well, it changes into, when it dries, is, oh gosh.
Red?
The names change. So when they're fresh to when they are dry, so this is the chile serrano. When it's the jalapeno, the chunky one, like this is the serrano, the slide. The jalapeno is this is jalapeno. The serrano is a chunky green chile. Well, it becomes chipotle when it's dry. It's the same chile, but the flavor changes. So this is, like I'm making also an advertise. Anyways. So ready for this salsa? What do we need? You can buy them anywhere. Chile chipotle, the can, anywhere you find them, any, supermarket. Tomatoes. These are like the round tomatoes that I found yesterday that were organic at the supermarket, where you can grow them. When we made the salsa MCSD, those were organic tomatoes. They were amazing. So this is the time for us to do, like some, if you have a backyard, you can grow your own tomatoes. Because that Michelle has tomatillos. Do you have tomatoes coming? So the flavor is completely different. Also, farmer's market, if you know, I know that now some of them are opening now. They're back to business, going back to business. So you can buy it and the flavor is completely different. So what I do is like I grab 2 tomatoes, the size we call them round tomatoes. I don't know what's the name in English. I don't know. Round tomato? No? Okay. Or why the color? Again, you know, how do you choose the ones that are really good when they are, you know, red, dark red, no spots, no yellow dots, no white dots. Otherwise, the flavor changes completely.
Claudia, do you ever use the Roma tomatoes?
The Roma tomatoes, if you plant them, if you know, if they come from your backyard, they are not great here. Yeah, the flavor it's
They're
too
crunchy. Yeah.
Yeah, those work for pico de gallo. Because pico de gallo, the flavor is a little bit bitter at the end, and we put lime on it. So those work for that salsa. For this one, it's better to have them, you know, bright red. And I learned how to choose tomatoes because I used to go to open air markets. Where I was born, we had the biggest open air market in the country, in Latin America, actually. It's no longer, you know, possible. So I remember Fridays when I was during summertime going with my mom, with my mother, and it was just great. You know, she would teach me how to do it, and she'll be like, because they were, you know, they could allow you, if you were a client, to choose your own vegetables and fruits. Otherwise, they will say, no, don't touch. But I remember my mother, you know, asking me, hey, come and help. And this is how you know, how you choose them. And that's something that we're forgetting to do with our own kids. So if you can, or just like pass it along, you know. Anyway, so what do we need? Again, an onion, 2 tomatoes, garlic, and chipotle. That's it. Very simple.
Wow.
Yeah, no, you know, that's the thing. It's like, you don't need anything else, just basic ingredients. If you add more to it, then it tastes like soup plantation food, or like, yeah, when I see restaurants, Mexican restaurants, that they offer quesadillas and they put jack cheese, but we call it yellow cheese. It's like, oh, walk away. That's the disgusting stuff. Again, we're gonna, oh, see, the green salsa is boiling now. See it? So I'm gonna reduce the temperature and stir it again, but I see again the foam on top. So make sure to make a lot if you're hosting people, because that's going to be reduced by far. So with the salsa, the salsa de chipotle, or chipotle salsa, we need, what is it called again? Masher.
A masher.
The masher, right? So I'm a little bit disappointed that I couldn't get my molcajete from an installation that is been on display ever since before COVID. And when I was about to take it down at Bread and Salt, then COVID happened and it shut down. And now my tools are there, you know, my cooking tools are there, most of them, and especially my molcajete. Molcajete is a mortar that it's a tradition that you have to have one, you know, at home, and it's made out of stone, but it's a volcanic stone with a you know, how do you call it,
Pestle?
The what?
It's pestle?
The pestle, yeah. But it's just it's a completely different shape, and it's been, you know, ever since before, you know, Mexico was conquered, so it stayed there forever, and it's a tool that it's a pre-Hispanic tool.
Here's ours.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So, and the trick about them is that they have to be cured, because when they're, you know, like brand new, you have to like clean them, and the sand or the dirt comes off, the little rocks, and then you don't want any rocks on your food. So the older they are, the better they get. And I'm gonna be the lucky one to inherit my mom's. That was my grandmother's, and now it's going to be inherit, and I'm gonna have it here one of those days. But I don't wish to have it soon. And, right? But I know my mother told me lately, you're having it, which is great. That's something that I treasure. The one that I have, it was given to me by a friend, and it's just a mix of different. The mortar is not the same as the stone. So, anyways, I don't have it here, so we're going to use metal container and the masher. I'm going to open my can of chipotles. What I like about chipotles is that they last forever in the fridge. Just don't leave them in the can. I'm gonna put them here. I already opened them, and now I have the tomatoes being roasted ever since we started. See how I started to roast them. It takes forever. My stove is electrical, so it doesn't quite work fast enough as the ones gas stoves. So what I do is like I roast them and I change them a little bit, like I have to rotate them, not change them, rotate them. But these two are ready to rock and roll. So try to find a pan that you can ruin, or it's an old pan. I always have the new pan and the old pan. So the old pan is always for roasting, for with this kind of texture. And why roasting? I don't know what it's about, but I love the flavors.
Claudia, are you just using like a non-stick pan?
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's it's gonna stick regardless of what.
Yeah. Could you do it in the oven maybe? Could
Uh,
prep it in the oven?
no, because you have to rotate them, and if you roast them in the oven, it's just one side. So you need to make sure that you can rotate them.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So I mean,
Okay.
I pretty much overburn, but it doesn't matter. So you don't peel anything. The burnt part stays. Don't get rid of it, because that gives a lot of flavor.
Right.
So I'm gonna put them in.
Right.
Yeah, and now I'm going to soak this in water and hot water and soap, because it takes forever. So I usually have my pans that I don't feel bad that I'm going to ruin them, right? Or like the old pan. Oh, the tomatillo sauce, or the green salsa is getting better. The smell. It's almost there. You can make multiple.
Claudia, how long did you roast those tomatoes?
Half an hour. Yeah, half an hour to 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So yeah, make sure that they are like, I can now get them closer. Oh, it's so hot. So yeah, like I don't burn my fingers anymore. I think that a lot of us are cooking more than ever. Here's the tricky part about using a mortar and blending. It takes a long time to do it, and you have to mash down. So it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be, like this, the green salsa, that the texture is perfect. This salsa, the chipotle salsa, is going to be a little bit chunky. I'm forgetting the secret. We're going to use another clove of garlic. And again, we have to fry it. This is a little bit bigger. I mean, like it's too big for for the amount of tomatoes that I roasted. So I'm just gonna use half of it. I don't know why, but garlic here, when I buy it, they are so big and the flavor is not that strong. Maybe the land, or maybe where they come in, or maybe all of the above. Or maybe their crops are like, they pick them up too soon or they freeze them. I don't know, but the flavor is completely different. So I'm having my cutting board right here, but it's just like simple. You don't miss anything. So I'm gonna fry a little bit of the garlic. See, it was, the one that I got was too big. So you don't need, for the salsa, you don't need a big clove. This came too big. This came out too big. So it's just half of it. It's perfect. Otherwise it's too strong. The flavor, it will be too strong. I'm gonna move this here. I'm making a mess. So is everybody enjoying it? I feel like the memories of Julia Child, you know, I didn't grow up with watching her, but I grew up with watching it. She was called, I'm sure that it was kind of like a copycat of Julia Child's program, and her name was Chepina. And it was in a, my mom used to watch it too, you know, before cooking in black and white TV before noon, and she'll have her her cooking classes online, or not online, on TV. And that was fun. So I didn't have Julia Child, but I had Chepina y su menú pando, her menu, her cool menu, something like that. Sorry, I'm making a mess.
Okay, there are a couple of questions.
Yep.
Or just one question. Oh, I ask a question. What city were you born?
Oh, Toluca. Toluca is west. So it's just west of Mexico City.
Okay.
45 minutes from there, but completely different. You know, Mexico City is so cosmopolitan and so rich and just huge. And Toluca, it still preserves its, you know, like provincial, very traditional values, everything about family. You have to know who's who, you know, like very cliquey. Not for me.
I think Charlotte's question was answered, right, Michelle? How long do you roast? Was it the tomatoes? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm frying the.
But I had one question. Do you use the seeds of your jalapenos?
Thank you, Michelle.
Everything, yeah. I don't, like in the salsa or?
In the first salsa.
Yeah, everything goes there. You don't get rid of it. The seeds are what gives, you know, the seeds, and the veins are what gives flavor. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of the chipotle. Sometimes the chipotles come with, you know, they can come with, I need another plate, hold on. With onions, and this one has, so I'm gonna just take it out. And I'm not going to use, okay, now I'm gonna take it with my hand. This is what we need, just one of them. It's up to you, but I rather have a flavorful salsa than spicy. Spicy, if you're going to use it for, you know, like for carne asada or for a quesadilla, it kills all other flavors. So it's better to have, you know, less quantity. Oh, I need to wash my hands, sorry. So we don't use, you know, salsas are like something that, ooh, see, because I was talking to you guys, I kind of burn it a little. It's brownish. It's okay, let's see if it doesn't taste that bad. It's going to go and maybe I'm not gonna use it. Yeah. So I put a little bit of onion also. How much? Since it's a small quantity that I'm making, see, it's half of, what is it? Half centimeter. So it's less than what? Less than a quarter. I call it a chunk. Yeah, but my husband is like, what is a chunk? Here.
I think that's about a quarter, don't you think?
Yeah, but just this much.
No
And
more.
only half.
Half.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah. Why? Flavor. All right, so I'm gonna start putting pressure. Let's see if I can what. Yeah, that's how low my camera can go before I, or the computer can go. So I'm trying to squeeze down. If you have a mortar, it's better because this is not enough. So I already did, you know, the tomatoes are ready, but the onions need a lot of pressure to break down the texture. And I'm not good at doing it with, what we can do also is to break them apart. See, like, so this salsa is more for, you know,
It's not finished.
for tacos or for carne asada or for, you know, for chicken, you know, just to put it on the side or with, you know, rice. We use it most likely for, you know, an ingredient on the side.
I do have one more question. It's from Bobna. She'd like to know if you can use any other kind of chili to make this salsa with a similar recipe, I guess similar ingredient.
Yeah, but the flavor will change. You know, if you roast all the chiles, you can roast also the jalapenos.
Mm-hmm.
And you can use them the same way. If you don't have chipotles, you can roast the jalapenos.
Mm-hmm.
Chiles verdes, oh my gosh. I'm just trying not to translate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, you know, I was able to break apart the onions and the little bit of onions and garlic too. So see, this is the consistency. So it's chunky. It's not gonna be perfect. So this salsa is ready. How long did it take? Like 15 minutes to make it? Yeah, super easy. And it's better than buying it at the supermarket. When you look at the labels and you know, products from the supermarket, you will always find oregano. No, oregano, it tastes, you know, like very raw too. So now that we can't, you know, buy, I was thinking of buying mugs, special mugs that we had, remember, for the workshop that we did at MCSD, mason jars. I couldn't find one today. And what I did is like, oh, I went in my fridge, found an empty jar of mayo, washed it. You know, it's a time for us to like have conscious of, or like create conscious of recycling things. So I'm gonna wait till it cools off a little, add a little bit of salt. What you can do with salt, I don't know how you measure it, but I measure it. I'm gonna try to put it here. If it's not the one that you have at home, just like 1 or 2 pizca, a little bit of salt. How do you measure your salt? I don't use measuring.
I like that. That's how I measure salt.
Yeah,
Pinch.
and that's it. Yeah, we're done with this salsa. And I'm gonna put it in the soon to be mason jar. Make sure that it cools off enough so you can put it in your fridge. And now you have salsa for a week.
Claudia, so no cilantro in this salsa.
Now this one doesn't have cilantro. It's all, you know, roasted ingredients. You can roast also the onion to make it softer. I chose not to, but you can do that too. So it doesn't take, you know, a lot of energy to make the mush. or to blend it. I have good news. The green salsa is ready.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm just remembering from before when you made salsa. Was there any lemon or lime in either one of these?
Lime? Oh, that's for pico de gallo.
Okay, pico de gallo. Okay.
I was putting, actually I have it here. You know, if you want me, I can do that too. The pico de gallo. I can continue making salsas. You know, right? Yeah, it's so easy. Well, you know, like it's all about getting the good ingredients and just simplify it. You know, we don't, the traditional Mexican food, it's not having a lot of ingredients. It's the opposite. Except by mole, and mole has 18 different ingredients. The rest, it's just simple. Simple is better. So this is ready for us. I'm just putting it here. I wish I could help it. I could move the computer, but I'm gonna do it after I finish. Yeah. And I have salsa. I haven't made salsa in a while. Here, well, you know, I have, and I can cover it after it cools off. Just let it sit and ready to rock and roll. Yeah, one salsa. It's almost cool. And now I have the green salsa ready. This is more for enchiladas. Oh, I wish I could have taught how to make enchiladas. That's a secret. Enchilada, huh?
Next time.
Yeah, I had to make enchiladas, yeah. So see how the foam went away? So now it's ready. And the smell and the color, remember the color, it was a little bit lighter. Now it's kind of a dark green or a mute green. And it's ready for adding salt, and we're done. Yeah, simple. Eh. Anyone has questions? Thank you.
Everybody unmute and we can all applaud.
Hey.
Oh my gosh,
That's great.
thank you.
Make me hungry.
I can just like do curbside drop off salsas.
Don't start that. You'll never have a restaurant.
Yeah, you'll be in your kitchen 24/7.
You know, that's a good project for me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would love to do it, and I have a couple of ideas for it. But you know, now having a full-time job, it's not the right time. But one day, I'll do it.
Claudia,
Yeah.
it's Bhavna. What's the best place to get the tomatillos?
Oh,
Sorry, you may have.
yeah. Where you live, there's a place in Claremont.
Okay.
Called La Tiendita.
Say that again.
La Tiendita, the little store. La Tiendita.
Ah, okay, okay.
Wait, don't, let me write it.
Can you type it in the chat?
Oh yeah, I was gonna look for it.
Tiendita.
La Tiendita.
Okay.
That's in Claremont, or
Okay.
everybody knows Norgate, right?
No.
Norgate, you can find it on you know, directions online. You can find Norgate in Barrio Logan, opposite side of Bread and Salt,
Okay.
where Chicano Park is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just 2 blocks from there. Just get off on what is it? Cesar Chavez Boulevard.
Big supermarket, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, they are like controlling very well their safety, so it's nice to go there, and ingredients are super cheap.
That's great.
Those are the 2 places. Or you can buy them at Bonds, but the taste is not the same. I don't know why. But the taste is the same.
Claudia, what do you think of the Pancho Villas? I know that. Is that it? Pancho Villa? Can you guys see me?
The supermarket?
Yeah, like the quality.
I've never gone there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I have a treat. I have something to share with you guys. This is the worst of all. But when I have family over and I'm not ready.
Oh,
Bad. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I cheated. But I cure it. Like I doctor it.
Yes.
Especially if I don't have time. So I doctor it with what? Fried garlic and a little bit of one more, because it doesn't have any flavor, and cilantro. So the same thing, I cook
I love it.
I boil one of these guys in water, because it needs more, 1 or 2, depending. So put it in the blender with a chunk of onion, fried garlic, a dime of cilantro, and cook it again.
Does your family know the difference?
Nope. Yeah, that happened during Christmas. Last Christmas, I just couldn't get ahead of it and just like, okay, I know how to fix it. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, this salsa, it's not cooked all the way. So the bitterness, if you boil it again, with the ingredients, then it tastes different. Then it tastes similar too.
Interesting. That's
Right?
great. Yeah.
Claudia, how many different kinds of salsas do you make regularly?
Oh, right now, maybe I know 5, like from scratch, but I don't have the ingredients. But you know what? There are other ingredients that I would love to share next time. Poblanos, it's a different entity, a different animal. I like the one with, it's a simple, it's the same basic ingredients with red tomatoes, but you change the chiles. So you can do it with any kind of chile, just roast them, or you can boil them, because there are chiles that are dry. So boil them and blend them, and it's the same, but it's a little bit of variation. But these are the basic ones. Hi, Rabna.
Thank you so much.
Wow, great. Thanks, Claudia.
Well, thank you. I hope to see you soon. And
Good world.
yeah, thank you for inviting me to do the workshop here.
It was fantastic.
I'm going to turn us off now. Oh, did I?